What's up, everybody? Welcome to a special live stream. This morning, we are going to talk about the breaking news coming from Universal from John Murdy, as he was telling us this morning with his fingers prickling. I love when he does that. That's something he should continue in the years to come. But we are talking about the brand new house Terrifier that just got announced this morning, just 30 minutes ago. The internet's breaking. I had to scramble to get this live stream together, so make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on my socials. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Bluesky at ThemeParkConductor. You can find me on X at ThemeConductor. You can also find me every Sunday on Conductor Sunday live streams at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we talk all about the theme parks, whether it's HHN news, Universal news, Disneyland news, or any theme park news whatsoever. I'm going to be having Citrico Central on this Sunday to talk about the final thoughts of the Walt Disney A Magical Journey show showing up at the Opera House on the 17th, and we got news on that they are going to be doing a virtual queue, so I can't wait to talk to him about it. But let's just get started with this. Let's just get started. Who's excited to talk about this? Who's excited? Because I could tell you right now, I'm excited. 100%. 100%. So this is what we got here. This is pretty exciting stuff. Terrifier, they've already updated the website. That's how fast these guys are. This is insane. They've already updated the website. This is crazy. So I love how he's holding that club with all the knives and sharp things coming out of there. It says the Terrifier isn't clowning around. Don't fall victim to Art the Clown and in the Terrifier haunted house. So very exciting stuff. We're gonna actually watch the video right now. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to show you guys. And actually, I'm going to show you on this. So let's do this real quick. Bear with me for 2 seconds here. We're going to watch the video clip here. Here we go.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Terrifier and more.
I have to tell you guys straight up, I am so excited for this house. Tommy Toon World, who is one of our moderators, he's always on the channel. He actually went to go see Terrifier 3 like so many of you did. And you guys all told me, including Tommy told me, and I finally watched it myself. But at the time when he told me, I didn't see it yet, but I finally saw it. And Terrifier 3, you imagine if they even brought 1/8 of an inch of that movie to life in the house, how terrifying that would be. Oh my freaking Lord. But the fact that we're getting Terrifier as an HHN house is just absolutely incredible. I want to hear from all you in the chat. Who's excited for this? Who's excited? Because I'm speechless right now. I don't even I can't even comprehend what the hell is going on right now. It's insane. It's totally insane to think about, what the hell we're looking at here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So Chastain's in LA, who I've had on the channel, actually just posted on X right now. He said, "Add John Murray needs to have Universal put a live stream on this facade for the reveal." That would be interesting. Huh. Um, it's funny because John Murray posted 27 minutes ago. He's all like, "You asked for it, you got it." And you know what I said? Let me see. Let me see what I it was really funny what I posted. I said, "And you definitely delivered. That's for sure. Thanks, John. Keep up the amazing work. Every time you prickle your fingers, we get excited." And that's not a lie either. That is not even close to a lie. Oh my god. Obviously, what do you call it? Is having a little bit of issues here because of you know, the internet just breaking. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Wow, unbelievable. That this is wow. I could tell you right now because before the Terrifier announcement came, they actually how can I put it? They actually dropped tickets for HHN Orlando. So we're going to check that out actually real quick. Let's do that real quick. Let's do that. And then I'm also getting texts from friends here. And then I'm gonna have a special guest. He's actually been on before. His name's Junior. He's best known as Universal Disney Fan on Instagram, but we're gonna actually have him on the show, and we're gonna break this down because we all, you know, it's funny. We all thought, and this is not just this is not just me, but we all thought WWE was coming. We all thought it. It's crazy. And shout out to SoCal Pals. I guess Universal merch, they just dropped the video of the Universal merch dropping. So very exciting stuff. So let me send him an invite. I'm going to do that real quick. That way we can have Junior on here. And it's definitely going to be a party, that's for sure. Like I said, this was very last minute, very, very, very last minute. But it's going to be absolutely terrifying. Get it? Terrifying. It's absolutely going to be terrifying to have Terrifier at HHN. And you know what's funny about this? And I've said it on multiple live streams that I've done in the past. When me and Tommy Toon World were at HHN last year, entering the queue for Texas Chainsaw Massacre last year, we actually saw the actor that plays Art the Clown. He was actually hanging out in that area. So it's funny to me because when I see actors and actresses that are part of these horror movies and the horror movie genre that comes out in theaters, what I find very, very interesting to me, at least, is if they are at the event, it tickles the back of my mind in a way, thinking, could they possibly be at the event next year or in the years following? And there you go. Now we have Terrifier. And it's really going to be interesting to me if they actually, either today, tomorrow, or the following days, if they actually release, like they take the tarp off the facade of the Terrifier house, because we all know that that location on the H lot behind Curious George is Terrifier. We can just tell by the shape and all that. But I'm super excited. post in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts about Terrifier. This is incredible. Conscious, I'm I can't say your last name. I don't want to say it because I want to butcher it, but he says HHN, let's go, popcorn yellow striped smile. Absolutely. And again, Tommy Toon World, one of our wonderful moderators on the channel. Definitely go check out his channel. He just got back from Las Vegas covering WWE, UFC stuff. He actually covered he walked around the site for Horror Unleashed, which is opening next month, August the 14th. So definitely go check out his channel. But he says Art the Clown has entered the chat. Absolutely. And then Junior, the fam, absolutely. Junior's joining us right now. You know what? Let me send him, because I gotta send him an email real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna send him an email. Okay. And then let me go back. And then copy. Okay. All right. Hopefully he's going to be joining us in the next couple minutes. Robert says, hello. Hello to you. Hello to everybody. This is like Christmas morning. Who ever thought we were going to get Terrifier? Good God. So also we have another guest that's going to be joining us. So I'm going to send him an invite as well. So let's do that. Let's see. We are actually going to be joined by Citrico Central as well for a little bit. So he's jumping on as well. Terrifier is going to be a huge hit. Oh, I absolutely agree, Andre. And if not many of you know, Haunters Unite, he goes by Mr. Scary Dre on X. He's actually the one who convinced me to start going to HHN back in 2016. And I have to say, Andre, what a fantastic ride. I cannot even freaking tell you how excited I am. Slimer Square says I already have my barf bag ready. Oh my God, Slimer, you're hilarious. Smash that like button. Orange Grove 55 in the house. He's again one of our amazing moderators. Go check out his channel, Orange Grove 55. He's done a lot of amazing content. I've been on his channel so many times I can't even count on my fingers. It's been that many times, but we always have a blast talking about Disneyland, Universal, HHN, and hopefully he's coming to HHN this year. I think he is. So I can't wait to see him. I'm actually going to be hanging out with him and Citrico Central and many others this next coming week for the for the Waltz show debuting at the Main Street Opera House on July the 17th. So if you do have reservations for Disneyland, please come say hello. If you see me walking around, if you see Orange Grove 55 walking around Citrico Central, believe me, we don't get mad. We love the interaction. So please come say hello to us. But I'm just waiting on George's Citrico Central and also Junior as well to join the live stream. So Haunters Unite said, we need Orange Grove 55 at HHN. You know what's funny, Andre? He was actually at HHN last year, and it was his first time since, I think he said 15 years ago before that. So he had a blast. And he's confirmed it. He will be there. He loves HHN. a great event. And we were just having this conversation actually on his channel um not too long ago, comparing HHN, comparing, Oogie Boogie Bash at Disneyland, and there is no comparison. HHN gives you the bang for its buck. Whatever you pay for, you're not going to be disappointed. Um, so I, I, Disney with Oogie Boogie Bash, they could be so much better if they change it up, and it's not always the same thing. If it would change up, it would be such a great event. I don't know why they consistently love to do the exact same thing. It drives me ludicrous. Get it? Ludicrous. It drives me absolutely insane that the prices keep going up and it's always the same. Now with HHN, prices do go up, but I'm okay with that because things change. I'm fine with that. So let me see if I can get the guys on here. But tell me your thoughts on what you think about Terrifier. This is absolutely incredible. Let's go back to the video real quick. I actually gotta change something real quick while we're waiting for our wonderful guests to show up. Because again, this was very last minute, so they were not prepared for this at all. So we're gonna watch it again. And then we're going to watch it several more times when our guests show up.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Terrifier and more.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. It's I'm still in culture shock. I have to tell you, it's just I didn't know what to think about this. I don't know. Let me pause this real. There we go. Yeah, I'm still I don't even know what to even think about this. I don't know. Hunters Unite said this IP alone is going to bring in the huge crowds and has a growing fan base. Overall, a great choice for this event. Absolutely. And you know what, Andre, if you want, text me on my phone via text if you want to join this live stream because Junior's hopping on and we're having Citrico Central. You're more than welcome. Just text me on my phone. Let me know. But while we're waiting for them, I do want to go to my Instagram real quick if I can, because I want to give a shout out to all you guys, and I mean all you guys, real quick, because look at how many followers I have. This alone, 1,220 followers. Just like a month ago, I had maybe 950 followers. Look how much it jumped up because of you guys. It's absolutely incredible. And you know what? You know the post that did it? It was this one. Look at this. Let me see if I can play it real quick. Well, I'm trying to play it, but it's Walt Disney Imagineering installing the marquee sign the night before guests go into the park for the next day. And look at this, 2,461 likes. That's insane. That's insane. I I don't even know what to say to that. I got so many follows off that one reel. It's crazy. It yeah. It's absolutely insane. Unbelievable. Oh, here we go. George, the Italiano, welcome. Junior, welcome. Good. I have to tell you guys, I was not expecting to go live. George, I was going to have you on Conductor Sunday live stream this Sunday. I was not expecting to do this, and it just happened.
Hey, that's how it always rolls. You know, you never know with these theme parks. They just end up dropping things like out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Junior, man, what do you think about this? Because for the last couple of days, it's been like heavily teased that we were supposed to get a WWE announcement about Horror Nights.
I was hoping it would get announced by Miss Scream. You know, I say the best for last, but
Yeah.
they went today. They just went for it today. It's been rumors since last year, and
Yeah.
WWE as well. Rumors since last year, which none of us knew about.
No.
And it's not even just the speculation of the Terrifier. We were all kind of thinking it was going to be kind of based on the second one.
Yeah.
Which I think out of all three thus far is the most, I mean, they're all pretty gruesome and graphic, but I think the sequel is the first sequel is kind of a doozy. So this should be interesting of how they actually bring this in real life format in a haunted house.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, one thing I want to ask you both is, have you guys seen the third movie of this?
Not yet. I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay. So Tommy Toon World, a great friend, great moderator, and just an overall great vlogger. You know, he saw the third one. He watched it completely through. He's like, it's a one and done situation. I'll watch it once. That's it. That's how gruesome it was. And I was thinking to myself, you know, if Terrifier did come, and this is before this announcement, would they base it off the second one, or would they just go full bore and take scenes from the third movie and add it in here?
Well, I think with the third one kind of like leaning more towards like holiday, I like during like Christmas time, they very well may, but I think they may kind of use that in the future with the pop-up Halloween horror, because we were talking about it like with Vegas and then moving to Chicago. What are they going to do, you know, all year round? What is some things that they can kind of get creative? Well, what better way to do it than to kind of utilize the horror style during the holidays than you could use like Krampus or Terrifier 3, because it's kind of set in the holiday fashion. So I think that's where they would use it. I think just by sticking with number 2, I think they're going to kind of hit it where it's, you know, hit it where it's hard.
Yeah.
I was curious. I was excited, but yet I was terrified. No pun intended. To the fact of this coming to life, because just watching it on screen, but to have this this out of body creature like come to life and not knowing like where he's going to be, where he's going to pop up at is literally and figuratively terrifying.
Wow. Junior, what do you have to say to that?
I mean, I'm glad that they went for part 2. Because the first one was not that good. It was so now that it's here, I have a feeling it could come back next year based on part 3.
So do you think it's going to be like the Monstros situation where they're going to have multiple years of this?
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, Man and I talked about it, so we both agree that part 2 this year and then next year part 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely. George, what do you think about that Terrifier coming multiple years? Do you think it's possible?
I do. I think honestly, even though despite of how gruesomely graphic these films are, they are very popular for them being kind of independent horror films where they're not like fully like mainstream studio, so to speak, they do make a lot of profit. So I think Universal's going to want to capitalize that on that and expand that even further. So to see how it does this year, see guest feedback and everything, I could definitely see them using it more than once.
Absolutely. The next thing I want to ask you, and I think I already know the answer to it, do you think because I have a friend, I think we all follow him on Instagram, Christian in the Parks. He's actually headed to Universal right now, because it's funny, because I was watching Mondo's live stream and then it broke and I'm like, okay, I got to do a live stream myself, because he's going to see Superman. So I wish him the best on that one. But you know, he made a valid point. He's all like, a lot of the hardcore fans, especially a lot of HHN hardcore fans, would probably be hanging out at the gift shops waiting, because there was hint that whatever house they announced, they were going to drop merch this morning. You know, right when it announced they were going to drop merch. So the fact that it's Terrifier and they didn't wait until Midsummer Scream to announce this, do you think the merch is just going to fly off the shelf?
I don't think so, because most of us are just waiting for the main merch, like the end of August. You know, that's the main one.
Yeah.
So do I think I'm gonna buy one? I don't think I'm gonna get one. I think I'm just gonna wait.
Okay.
I'll wait for the main one in August.
Okay. So the one that has all the houses.
Yeah.
That's
the leak that was posted. That could be the merch that was leaked.
Yeah.
Girl, so too.
So George, I'm going to ask you the same thing, because obviously you've gone through this before, especially at Disneyland with merch and whatnot. Do you think an IP like this, you know, the merch alone is just going to blow out, or do you agree with Junior that it's gonna sell, but it's not really going to sell until they drop more merch from this IP? Because obviously they're not going to have everything, but they're going to have a decent amount.
Yeah, I think it'll sell. I think it'll do decent, but I don't think it's going to do gangbusters right away. And if I'm wrong, you know, I'll eat that crow. But I think people are going to want to, you know, kind of dip their toe in the pool, so to speak, to see how this really goes before they start buying like overly excessive with this, because you still don't really know how this is going to go. With Disney, it's kind of like a safe, sure bet. And even to then, Disney drops so much merch little by little at a time. So I think Universal is going to want to kind of play it safe, to just release so much, test the waters, see how it goes, and then drop more along the way. But really quick, if you could bring up Slimer's
yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, actually, this is very interesting too, because this would give Disney a run for their money, because during like the holiday season at Disneyland with Haunted Mansion, they do the Haunted Holiday, so it fits into that Disney realm, where if they do incorporate, you know, Terrifier 3 at HHN, it does kind of give off a little bit of that, you know, in between holidays for Halloween and Christmas. And I could see the parks doing that now, because I mean, the holidays between October into December, that's basically the cash cow for theme parks right now. Summer months aren't really doing so hot between, no pun intended, between the parks. And yeah, the holidays is where the bacon is. So I feel like if Universal can capitalize on using an IP for both Halloween and Christmas, so sort of like how Disney does, more power to them.
Absolutely. So, you know, that makes perfect sense. And one thing that I could see, I don't think they would, because Christmas time is kind of like family and whatnot. And usually we have the Grinch, but I know there are
really cares about that.
That's true. Because George is a Grinch. He's just not green, but he's a Grinch, right?
Exactly. I'm a Grinch. I stood in line for 3 hours to meet him, and the freaking team member could not get not one good photo shot. Either I was looking away, he was looking away, Abby was looking away. She could not get all three of us looking at the camera. And she just handed me back the phone, and I found it after the fact we got out of line.
Good.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I know that's completely off the topic of what we're talking about, but yes, I was a Grinch for that day for meeting the Grinch.
Oh my God. So my question to you is, if like during the Christmas time, obviously in the plaza they have Grinchmas there, could we see something Art the Clown related in a different area of the park that's also related to Christmas? Or because I'm kind of feeling like the Christmas theme, at least at Universal, is starting to get a little redundant.
I agree with you, because I actually attended Disneyland, Universal, and Knott's Berry Farm during last Christmas season. I did all three to kind of compare and contrast, because I've never done any of the holiday stuff.
Sure.
With any of them. Like last year, I did the trifecta. And I have to say, out of all three, Universal was kind of the weakest out of the three.
Yeah.
And Disneyland is Disneyland. Like, it's always magical during Christmas. But I have to say, it was something very special to do the holidays at Knott's, especially with the big Christmas production in the Walter Knott Theater and everything. But yeah, I was kind of underwhelmed a little bit with the Grinchmas, because I love the decor. I love everything, meeting the Grinch, if they could do a proper photo.
Right.
Meeting Max, that was really cool, but it was nothing else really spectacular. They did the lighting of the tree and everything, but yeah, I say out of all three, Universal was kind of lackluster with that. So I would like to see something a little bit more, a little edgy. And honestly, Universal can get away with it, because they're known to do edgy stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. Junior, same question to you. Do you think we could see some type of Terrifier, something Terrifier related during the Christmas time in a different area than the plaza?
Yeah, we can see something like an Easter egg. Yeah, we can see something.
Yeah, because FanFest nights, especially at Universal Hollywood, being the first time they've ever done that event, it opens so many doors, and I mean so many doors, to Universal and what they could do. I could see them doing a Terrifier kind of FanFest night, house. And I'm not talking an HHN house. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking like an actual kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, where you're kind of immersed in it and you're kind of trying to, I don't know, it's a mix between HHN house, escape room, and kind of being immersed in the whole atmosphere. I could see something like that. I really could. It's something, again, FanFest really just opened a whole can of worms with that. Absolutely.
And actually, to kind of on the subject but off the subject, but actually OG mentioned it with Universal's After Hours, being greater than Disney's After Hours in the comment. And I do believe that I just read recently that the first, basically the opening of Oogie Boogie Bash, with the Incredicoaster and Radiator Springs going down for their refurb, both of those rides aren't even going to be open for the party, and they're two popular attractions. They're popular just during regular park hours, and I always love the lighting package with Radiator Springs Racers during Oogie Boogie Bash, the green and the purple. Now again, it's going to still be there, for the remaining of the season, but for me, that's just besides the point, that people had already purchased their tickets prior to these announcements.
Sure.
I think honestly it should have been, Disney to have a little bit more, I don't know, they're not obligated to, but it would have just been nice to get a heads up to say, for all of you who are coming the first few weeks of Oogie Boogie Bash, in the month of August, you're not going to have these two popular attractions.
See, that's something that bugs me. And I was just saying, talking about Oogie Boogie Bash before you two joined, and I said one of the biggest downfalls is that Disney, especially with Oogie Boogie Bash and then other events they host, but talking on the fact of Halloween, Oogie Boogie Bash, they keep increasing the ticket prices, but yet it's the same thing or it's less of the same thing. It's really not changing up. Now, on the other spectrum, you got Universal with HHN. Yeah, they'll up their prices, but you're getting something different. You're getting something new. You're getting something where you're like, oh my God, I have to go see it. And Terrifier is just one of those things out of many. So it's just like, why wouldn't I go to HHN before I think about Oogie Boogie Bash? Obviously, you're going to have those diehard people that buy the Oogie Boogie tickets no matter what, and it's going to sell out. And Disney, it's telling Disney, hey, you know what? We're just going to keep things real. We're going to keep things simple. We're going to keep things the same because tickets sell out within minutes, if not hours, of dropping the tickets. But Universal, yeah, a lot of it doesn't sell out, but obviously Orlando did because they dropped their frequent fear pass and some of the other tickets this morning, and some of it already sold out. So, Junior, I'm going to actually go to you on that aspect. Are you surprised by that?
A little bit of both, yeah. I mean, I honestly don't care about Oogie Boogie Bash. I only went once.
Same.
I'm like, I'm never going again. It's not for me. I don't have kids. So
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Terrifier's finally coming. Everyone's going to want to go to Terrifier first.
Oh, 100%.
So,
well,
yeah, I'm not surprised.
So let me ask you something else. I'm going to ask both of you. Is Junior, I'm going to start with you. So by announcing Terrifier, could we see prices go up?
That's a good question. I don't know. Now that they announced it, I think it's possible. I think people are going to start buying tickets now. Now that they announced Terrifier, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
George, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Do you think tickets are going up?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think even though tickets will, started, decent, like with, when they released it, because everyone just loves going for the Halloween season, just HHN in general. But I think a lot of people, what they do is they like to have that full confirmation from Universal to see what's really coming and is it really worth it. So I could definitely see for sure that just with Terrifier alone, you're going to see tickets being sold even more.
So let's go over that since we're actually talking about it. Currently, right now, I don't know if it has gone up because I didn't look at it last night just to do a reference because, again, we were all caught off guard on this announcement. But currently, as it sits right now, general admission is $77. Halloween Horror Nights Universal Express, which basically means you have Express for all the houses one time, $229. Express Unlimited, which is unlimited, doesn't matter, $269. Then the RIP tour, which I'm doing the first night, I'm super excited for that. $419 now. So prices did go up on the RIP tour because when they first dropped the ticket, I bought it at $379, and I think I walked away with taxes and all that around $400. So it has gone up at least $20. And then the 2 p.m. day night combo, $117. I think I want to say they were down at $100 or $90 or something like that. The next one is after 2 p.m. day and night combo, which is now $300. That seems like the hot commodity ticket if you're not doing the RIP tour. So I don't know if this has gone up since they debuted it, but it seems like it has. And then early access, it's still $15, but now with Terrifier and then whatever they announce in the coming days, if not weeks, I can see that going up $20, $25, $30 for early entry. And then the Ultimate Fear Pass is now $300 as well. And then the Frequent Fear is only $179. I feel like that's been stagnant. Junior, I'm going to start with you. Out of all the tickets I just read, was there one ticket price that you were actually shocked about?
The pass for 179. That was my number one thing. Like, wow, they actually selling it for 179. Like, what happened?
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Weird. Yeah, it's weird. But 179. Hey, I still haven't got my ticket yet, but I'm just waiting. I'm in a rush.
Yeah. No, I got my tickets early because I'm planning on going there, planning on staying at the Hilton right across street. It's just convenient for me. Yeah, it's pricey, but I just have to bite the bullet until Universal builds their hotel. Hopefully it's a way better deal when they do. But
here's what I think why it's going to go up. If you could bring up Brian Sevilla, what he just said.
Sure. Let me see. Which one was it?
Sevilla said something about that one.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Damian Leon, they posted earlier when they announced it that the team has gone above and beyond to ensure this is the bloodiest house. So he was working with them.
Nice.
Not just John Murray and his team. No, he was involved. So he just wanted to make sure that Mace is really good, perfect, bloody, scary, everything. So that's going to go up.
You know what's funny? Good friend of the channel, also good friends of George and Orange Grove 55, Slimer. He says, I want that irony smell blood puts off stinking to my clothes. So he wants the full experience. He also said earlier he wants real blood. He doesn't want fake nuts.
Yes, absolutely. Like the real, the better. And that's what Disney does like so wrong. And that's what I hope that they kind of get better with the villains. Like if they do something to incorporate Maleficent becoming the dragon, like as a dragon, I want to see her like ripping off limbs. Like I want us to have to sign like a waiver, like to actually walk into the land. Like they want to give an immersive experience. You have to make it real.
Oh my God. That would be awesome. Stop the dark event.
Well, it's terrifying. Will we see a bed scene in the maze? That's what I want to know. That's the question.
Which scene, Junior?
Bed scene from part 2.
Yeah, I remember. Oh my God, that would be.
That's the question. Will that scene be in the maze?
That would be a cherry on top if they did that. 100%. Slimer also said, I think he's talking about Five Nights at Freddy with Express is sold out.
I wish we had that over here in Hollywood. I wish we had that.
I know. He also said now hiring sacrificial scare actors. George, you want to sign up?
I think I'm good.
You'll not. No, but the fact that this IP is coming, and I said it last year as well. And I said earlier before you guys joined, I said one of the things I found very interesting was when me and Tommy Toon World were heading down to Texas Chainsaw Massacre last year, and we were just entering the queue to go to the RIP line. We actually saw the actual actor that plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies. He was just hanging around talking to some higher ups and whatnot. We said hi to him and whatnot. So it got me, and I said it earlier and I thought it was a funny quote. It's tickling the back of my mind. I'm taking a quote from John Murdy. Instead of my fingers, it's tickling the back of my mind, thinking, could Terrifier be part of HHN in the coming years? And here we go.
That's usually what happens, because even though that we don't know, these theme park industries, they're always, 10 steps ahead of the game. So even though that we're enjoying the festivities, in the moment, they're already working on next year.
Yeah.
By the time, we go to this, Halloween Horror Nights, they're working on next year's, it's something.
Well, because you make a great point, George, because that's one of the things so many of us, including Junior, he always has the best reactions with John Murdy on X, is that, it's like 365 with him. He really doesn't even take a break. He's always meeting with industry people. And if he's back home where he lives in Ireland, which is fantastic, he's always on conference calls with these people. And his partner that's out here, he's kind of headlining things while he's not in town, and then when John Murdy comes into town, he's it's a 365 effect, and I love that. I love that, and the fact for Midsummer Scream that we're having him and we're having the creator of HHN Orlando being in the same room with each other is exciting. Junior, I'm going to ask you about that first. What do you think about that? John Murdy being in the same room with the Orlando's creator. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. It's been like 7 years since they last went, since they were last together in Midsummer. I mean, I thought they were gonna announce the Terrifier there, both of them, but
oh, so you thought Terrifier was going to be announced, and then what else you thought was going to be announced? WWE?
WWE, but I just thought Terrifier alone, because they're together. So
sure,
but maybe they'll announce WWE together. I don't know myself. I don't know.
It's funny because I think we all thought that Terrifier was going to be announced at Midsummer Scream. Obviously, that's not happening. But now I think WWE is going to be the one announced at Midsummer. That's what I'm thinking.
And then also, review all the details for FNAF because they still haven't said anything about it.
No, which is shocking to me because it's like, I'm not going to say it's like a poltergeist giveaway in a way, but it almost is. Because everyone's talking about it. It's like, the heck's going on here?
Yeah. Who knows more? Maybe they'll talk about the Terror Trap that's coming. Like, hey, Terror Trap is coming back. Bloodhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Slimer said, are we getting a Macbeth house, or was Murdy just effing with us?
It was just effing with us.
He likes doing that. I think he likes messing with you, Junior. Like when you start making comments towards his post, he likes messing with you.
Yeah, he does. Go way back, way back. That's why he always messes with me.
Oh my gosh! You know what's funny? Because Orange Grove 55 last year was his first time going to HHN. George, you and Abby went with them, and he had an absolute blast doing it. What do you think? What do you think he's gonna think of this year?
I mean, actually, it was all our first times right there.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, it was the HHN popping of the cherry that year. But I think honestly, now here's the thing. Like, we all enjoyed it, like, and we'll definitely enjoy this year. But we all ended up getting like a higher tier with Express.
Sure.
Which I forget what color band it was. I don't know if it was pink or something, but it was the highest thing. So that ended up giving us a much better experience. Now I'm very curious because I'm probably going to go a few times, but one time is I'm going to utilize the ticket that came with my annual pass, and I'm just going to use it as just a regular HHN ticket because I really want to see how operational wise, how is it just with a regular base ticket?
Sure.
Without the Express, and if you're waiting in line and then by the time you get to the Haas and it is very impressive, but you're like, should I have really waited like 2 hours in line for that? You don't really think of that until you actually do it. But that's why probably we'll end up doing it a couple times because I want to get both experiences, because being that I only did it once and I did it with a high tier Express, it was great. It was phenomenal. But I think that was because of the Express talking, not just as a regular ticket holder.
Absolutely. So that's kind of what I'm doing myself. I actually, I like to do the RIP tour the first night. That way I get to experience everything without issues. Obviously there's going to be issues no matter what. That's just unavoidable. But I get to experience everything. Second night, I usually do general admission, which is free with my platinum pass. Thank you to Universal Hollywood for allowing us platinum pass holders to have that free ticket. And then usually the third night, I do Express Unlimited. So whatever I missed the first 2 nights, whether it was because they were having tech glitches in the house or they were having film crews, which usually happens the very first night, usually whatever house it might be, like example Terrifier, I guarantee it's going to have a delay because they're going to have a film crew in there filming, and I mean like actual industry film crews filming in there with the big cameras, the lights and all that. But I that's how I usually do it. So I kind of get different experiences as well. And I have to say, you know what? If I'm going to pay the money between, and again, I know it's not a comparison, but if I'm going to pay money either a Universal, I'm going to pay money to Disney. When it comes to Halloween, I'm going to do Universal 10 out of 10 times. And yeah, it's expensive to do the RIP tour, but you get so much out of it. You get valet parking, you get an hour-long private buffet, and we're probably going to get our own scare actor back in the Moulin Rouge, which I'm super excited for. They haven't announced anything, but I hope we do. Then you get exclusive lanyard and credentials that only RIP tour guests can have. You get exclusive photo ops during the Terror Tram, during certain areas of the park. So that's amazing. It's amazing to me. And then you get front row VIP for whatever show they're bringing. So that's exciting as well. So I like doing different variations of the tickets. So I want to ask you, Junior, since I brought it up with the RIP tour, do you think we are going to get a scare actor back at the Moulin Rouge as a private scare actor?
Yeah, I think so. You know, when was the last time? 3 years ago, right? With Michael Myers?
I think yeah, it was Michael Myers.
Yeah, they had to bring it back. You know, it's much needed. You know, that's what the Red Tour is for. You know, interact with the actors.
Sure.
So yeah.
So George, oh yeah, 100%. So George, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Would you like, if you're paying the money for it, would you like to see a personal private scare actor for the RIP tour dinner?
For that amount, yes, that should be something that should be exclusive to that and something unique. You have to, and I say this even with Disney too, and this is what Disney's problem is with these after-hour events, is that if you're going to have a high paid tier ticket, you have to give it worthwhile of what you're spending. You know, you have to walk away that night and say, wow, that was money worth spent. And if you have any kind of a shadow of a doubt to say, wow, I wonder if I really should have done that, then neither place did their job in doing what they should have done. That especially if this is a VIP access kind of ticket. Now with me, I have no problem with trying the RIP, but I think for me, I would rather get the layout of the land first.
Sure.
To see like where everything is, and then make that decision to say, you know what, is it worth it for me to come back to do the RIP? Because I kind of like break it down to the fact of, because like the valet parking doesn't really mean anything for me. The buffet, obviously, that would be cool. On top of, if they had a personal private scare actor, that would be fun.
Yeah.
So I would like to see what is all involved with first before making that jump and spending it. So that way I know. And that's kind of a way, going back to what you were mentioning, Conductor, about the merch. I think that's where people are kind of waiting to see like how things are going to go and then make that final decision. Because I mean, it's not cheap. So it's like, you definitely want to get your money's worth. And for me, I would just rather wait to see how everything is functioning. And then if I say, you know what, this was phenomenal just with a regular base ticket.
Sure.
I want to do the RIP. Now, that's a risk I take because the RIPs could be all sold out by then. But at least it would give me an idea that maybe even not for this year, maybe for next year, to say, okay, I have a little more faith in Universal of what they're doing. Talk about something scary. No. Up one.
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny about this? Since I was just scrolling, some people have actually posted online that they can have, like, how I have this bureau up here, right? They actually have him sitting on something like that, and in the middle of the night, he just turns on and starts talking randomly.
That's wild.
Talk about scary. Talk about scary. That would be creepy. I'm sorry, but
yeah. And the eyes blinking and like
God.
It's Disney's version of Chucky.
Yeah, no kidding. But at least Chucky looks the part.
Yeah.
Mickey just looks sinister, like he's planning on doing something. You just don't know what. Crazy.
Here's a question for the RIP. Let's say they do bring it back in Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Characters would it be Art the Clown, one of the characters from FNAF?
Ooh.
With the
man.
Jason, I mean.
You know what? I actually want to put a poll on X, and I'm going to do that after this live stream, and I'm going to ask that exact question. Personally, for me, from what I've seen so far of the houses we do have, between FNAF, between now Terrifier, between Jason, God, that's a hard choice. Wow. And I don't think I could choose. All three IPs are just, monstrous. Yeah. It's not a contender. The other three, contenders.
I'm going to go with Art the Clown.
Ooh, okay.
You're walking around smiling while you're eating with the blowing horn.
So it's so funny because George, Tommy Toon World, and then hopefully myself, I'm trying to hear back from work because I put in vacation for Horror Unleashed next month. But one of the things I found very interesting about the Horror Unleashed place in Las Vegas was that when you're dining, okay, because they're going to have a little dining area, and then they're going to have a little bar. They're going to have the scare actors kind of roaming around, interacting with you while you're eating and drinking. I really wish the RIP tour at Hollywood would do that.
Yeah.
I know it's not a huge space, but it would be absolutely amazing to do that. Or if they didn't do it in the Moulin Rouge and they did it in a smaller sound stage, and they had all the characters, like one character from each house, interacting with you during the dinner, that would be awesome. I would pay an upcharge for that. I really would. That'd be amazing. So I want to go to some posts that are in the chat real quick. Haunters Unite, aka Mr. Scary Dre on X, said, I could see opening night be 3 hours for Terrifier for sure, maybe even longer.
Yep, that's why you got to get the early access immediately.
Yeah,
first.
Absolutely. And then Orange Grove 55, one of our moderators, said the popcorn bucket craze is kind of annoying. It's becoming so trendy with the locals. Same with the Spirit jerseys. What do you think about that, George? I'm going to go to you on what he just said.
Yeah, for me, that's that became. Well, I think honestly, not even just like locals at Disneyland. I even think with Walt Disney World too. I mean, the line was at the wazoo at Epcot for the Figment popcorn bucket. I think just popcorn buckets in general just became a craze. They just became like a collector thing that people have to have, or people that buy 50 of them to resell on eBay for a crazy amount. Because it's just one of those things that, like, when something comes along, you don't think it's going to be a fad, but it ends up becoming an overnight success. And these companies are like, well, if people are interested in it, let's run with it. Let's do a popcorn bucket for everything.
Sure. No, absolutely. Junior, I want to go to you on that. Do you kind of feel the same way on what Orange Grove was saying?
I mean, I have no comment at that. I don't think about Disney stuff. But
sure.
Yeah.
But it also relates to HHN and Universal too, because they've come out with their share of popcorn buckets as well. One thing I would have to say though, with the popcorn bucket game, or anything for that matter, we've all seen it where these resellers will go in, buy 20, 30 of them, and then sell them for triple the price online. So, you know, it is kind of being a little redundant. So, I don't know. It's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, it's just one of those things. Slimer says Good Samaritans are buying them up and selling them on eBay, sparing guests from Florida heat and crowds.
How thoughtful of them.
Exactly. But Slimer, you do have to remember though, yeah, it's saving people from the heat and the weather, but then it's also taking away the fact that they get to experience a Disney vacation or a Universal vacation, and you're paying triple the price.
This may just be me. I don't know. This off the subject, but on the subject. Am I the only one that I actually enjoy heat? I think out of every one of us in the group, like I have like the highest tolerance for heat.
Oh my God. Slimer says that was a joke. No, we know it was a joke. I'm just saying though, it's just I don't know. It's something that I want to get used to a lot more, and I'm starting to, because I live close to San Diego, and it's hot out here. If it's not the heat, it's freaking humidity. It sucks. And
it's over here.
Yeah,
I think for me, growing up in a state where it can reach -25, I think that's probably like I'll take the 116 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's something that my dad asks me all the time, because I bring it up to him quite often. I'm like, you know what, with California just being California, and then just all the nonsense going on, I might want to follow the route that Theme Park Obsession's going to. He's honestly planning on moving to the Orlando area, and I've really thought about it myself.
Really?
I have, and it's something I'm exploring. Obviously it's years and years down the road, but it's just, don't get me wrong, I love California as much as the next guy, but just the prices of everything is just going nuts, and it's just crazy.
Really expensive right now.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive for the amount of money that you would pay for a 2-bedroom condo here in California. You can literally, I swear, you can literally buy one in Orlando in a tower if you wanted to, and have a great view, and have money left over to buy probably a brand new car, do a world-class vacation, maybe 1 or 2 cruises, and still have money. It's ridiculous. It's so dumb. It's stupid.
Yeah, 1-bedroom apartment here, it's like $2,100.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. So I don't know. It's years and years down the road, but I'm starting to feel that way. But obviously, I would never get rid of my annual passes to Disneyland and Universal Hollywood. That will always stay true in my heart, no matter what.
I think for me, and this is just me speaking right now, because Florida for me was always on the table since I was 9 years old. That was actually my target spot. It really wasn't California. But as I started getting older and then comparing of going back and forth between the two. Now, of course, it may be different from everyone that was already like born and raised local in California. But
sure.
I feel like for me, as I got older, even as a content creator, I love going to Florida for vacationing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something about where I went to the parks when I was staying with family. So it was kind of like in a local, because I have family that live down there.
Sure.
And it was different. I didn't really like going from a house to one of the parks and then back to a house again for me for Florida.
Yeah.
I love the fact of like, if I do Walt Disney World, I'm staying in the Walt Disney World bubble. If
Yeah.
I'm doing Universal Orlando, I'm staying in the Universal Orlando. It's just something different where I'm okay with being a local out here, going to the parks and coming home. But for some reason, for the Florida parks, I don't know. It just seems like a vacation destination for me.
Yeah. And again, Hunters Unite said, I feel the same way too, guys. I'm on the fence too, but it will be years until I decide. Yeah, because it's so hard to pay prices here. It's so hard to sit there and save money in the state because you're paying all sorts of taxes. And if it's not taxes, it's fees. If it's not fees, it's something else. Don't get me wrong. California is a great state. You have all different types of weather during the entire year. It's a fantastic state in that aspect, but when you're paying for stuff, it's horrible.
Actually, since you've been on that, here's a question for you. Now, again,
Sure.
I'm just kind of speculating, and again, this he didn't like confirm anything or anything, but can you even see down the road Dave from Fresh Baked possibly making that move? I mean, he's been making several trips out to Florida like within the same year, and that's usually like out of his realm.
Yeah.
So I was even curious to see, like, even down the road, not now. And again, he hasn't even mentioned anything. This is just in my mind.
Sure.
I'm curious to see if he even goes that route, because as a strong content creator, he's already built his own community here in California. He's set with that. But no one really knows him, in the Florida aspect. So, and then with everything going on in Florida with, Epic Universe and Universal getting their expansion, Walt Disney World with Monsters Inc., Villains, Cars, Tropical Americas. I mean, that's basically a content creator's playground that's going to be within the next 5 years alone, not to mention what it's going to be in the next 10 years.
Sure.
So I could definitely see a lot of vloggers and content creators considering making that jump.
Yeah. I could see him doing it. Obviously, we don't know if he would, but I definitely could see that, because he did start a new channel. He has like 3 channels now on YouTube. It's crazy. But his newest channel is covering all Walt Disney World, all the Florida parks out there and whatnot. So I can see that happening. Like you said, Florida, Orlando is just a absolute, content creators playground. It really is. Whether it's just a regular day at the parks, whether it's Halloween Horror Nights, whether it's, Christmas, doesn't matter. It's just so much to cover. It's like you would never be bored as a content creator covering all that stuff. It's like every single day, every single minute, you have something to cover. It's like you almost can't keep up. There's so much. It's crazy. And then Wizards in the house, his famous choo-choo. I love it. One thing I want to ask you guys before we play the trailer of the Terrifier House announcement, and then also before we go, is the RIP tour. I want to ask you guys, because this has been back and forth. Obviously each house has a dedicated line to RIP. That's with the tour guide. Okay. It's a physical line. It's not something you just walk up and they walk you through a side door. It's an actual physical line that they have to build alongside with Express, alongside with General. So each house has 3 lines. Do you think Universal will go back to what it originally had, where the RIP tour, once they're done with their tour and they have like a couple hours to themselves, but still have the credentials that you get to keep because you paid all that money, do you think they will allow the RIP tour guests to go through that line after they're done with their tour?
I mean, yeah, they have to. We paid up so much money for it.
Yeah.
Stupid if they don't let us go through that line again. What's the whole point?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they should. They should let us get back to the VIP line. They should. It's not fair.
No, it completely isn't. George, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think they should bring that back? Because I know in years past they kind of gone back and forth. The newest craze that they had was you go through the RIP tour line once, and then after your tour is done, you still have the credentials, but now you're thrown into the mix with the express people, and they paid $200 less than what you paid.
That would be very crappy if they go that route. I would hope and think that with the amount of money you're paying for, that you would have you could still go through a personal separate line, because that's even just like with Disney's everyday Lightning Lane. When they say, "Oh, you skipped the line," don't give me that crap. Like if you use Lightning Lane to go on Indiana Jones, the only thing you're skipping is the outdoor line outside of the temple. Once you hit the bridge, you're in with everybody else for the rest of the line. I'm sorry, that's not skipping the line. Universal, when I go on the Mummy, when they say skip the line, I'm going all the way up to the loading area. That's skipping the line. So I would think it would be out of Universal's norm if they don't do that, especially for the amount of tickets. And also the fact that you even showed it, that the prices are now higher. So that even hikes up the ante to say, okay, well, if I'm going to pay even more now, you're looking at probably what would you say, like a $50 difference, and then you're just going to say, oh yeah, okay, well, after the one time that was your money worth spent, go in with everybody else. To me, that's, I don't know.
It's a slap in the face. Like Junior said, you're paying so much money for this ticket to experience everything. They should just keep it. You want to go through that line 50,000 times? Be my guest. You have the pass. You paid for it. Go for it. I don't care. Enjoy it. You paid for it. Why not? And then Slimer, he brought up a good point. So I guess Florida, going back on that for a second, he said they are working on legislation to eliminate property tax. So that might be another great incentive, not only for content creators, but people that want to get out of California and other states that are jacking their prices. So that's really nice. I know Slimer is based out in Florida. So is Capture the Magic. He's out there in Florida and so many others. So that would be absolutely amazing. But let's play the video that they have for the Terrifier house. Oh, well, maybe not. So I want to ask you guys, what did you think about that?
I just wish the IP would have had their own trailers, to be honest, instead of showing us the TV.
Yeah.
You know how they did it last year. Instead of had his own trailer, Ghostbusters' own trailer.
That was fire. Why I bring that up, Junior? George, what did you think about that?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I think for all of us that know the Terrifier, we kind of already know what to expect. But for someone that is kind of like a newbie to all this, it doesn't really give off really anything like what it is. Yeah. I love a good jump scare. I would love that if it was focused on a particular item or something, and it's like zooming in very close and your eyes are on it and you're like, okay, this is what I'm expecting. And then right when it gets like close to face, boom, like you have like the Terrifier like pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just like cut the black.
Yeah. It's not good enough.
So go ahead, Junior. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying, like the TV that they show all the time, I just don't like it.
A distance.
Yeah, only the bedroom. I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah. So so this is what you're referring to. This is from last year. This is from Ghost Empire. I'm going to show everyone so they can see what we're talking about. So if we got a video based off Terrifier of something like this,
yeah, it gives you more hype. That's what I'm saying. It gives you something to like get like a visual in your head of like what to expect, but it's kind of like a teaser.
yeah,
But like, yeah, just the simple thing of just showing like a room with a TV, it's like very uncreative. They could do much better, especially because you can tell that was shot there on the lot,
yeah,
like in the residential area. It's like, so they have filming at their fingertips, and they give us something kind of like under par with that. And I know it's just a trailer, you know, it becomes an afterthought after so long, but it's still like you want to hype it up. You want to, you know,
Yeah. That's why I went with Terrified. The trailer have its own trailer, you know, hype it up.
So,
you know?
so I want to ask you, Junior, because obviously I'm pretty damn sure, and actually I'm going to pull up an Instagram post real quick. But the fact that you're probably going to Midsummer this year, like you do every year with Mondo, and covering all the footage and all that stuff. Do you think we might get a video like the Ghostbusters for Terrifier at Midsummer?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, now that they announced that, no, I don't think so. Maybe if they say WWE, maybe for WWE, maybe it's
Okay.
possibility. But for Terrifier, no, I don't think so.
Gotcha. So this is out of Florida right now. This is part of the merch from HHN 365. So, you know, just a plain shirt with Terrifier.
Yeah, I just see like plain. You know, I want to see like more details around the space, you know.
So I do like that they added him part of the glass. Obviously, we have 2 more spots. That's pretty cool. So I want to ask you, Junior, first, and then I'll go to George. Do you have that yet, or are you waiting on that too?
I don't have none of them.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to buy them. Maybe I'm just waiting.
Okay.
All to be revealed. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then there's Art the Clown. George, I think you were at Universal recently. Have you picked this up yet, or are you going to just kind of wait until they make another announcement?
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't pick it up yet. And for me, here's the thing with me with merch. I'm very picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. Even with exclusive limited stuff, if it doesn't like call to me, like I won't buy it, because essentially it just sits and collects dust. You know, it's it really has to be something unique to say that, you know, oh, I really want. I usually go for stuff that I could wear. Sure. I love, because that you can kind of like utilize it, you know, all year round. You know, you can, you know, it's more use out of it. So yeah, I don't even know if I would get it. But again, if once I see it in person, maybe when it's fully completed, then, you know, definitely see how it looks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till they release all the merch. Yeah, so I'm gonna wait it out.
Yeah, because as we're looking at it, you know, you got the little puzzle piece, and shout out to Telva Media for posting this, because he's at Universal right now. Is that you got Art the Clown, you know, a little puzzle piece. Then you got like a t-shirt that's kind of just like generic, and that's going for $35. And then you got a little tote bag, which is, you know, another $35. It's really only 3 pieces. Like you said, Junior, it's way early on for the merch. I 100% agree with you. The only thing I might cave on is that you know, art piece with all the little puzzle pieces. I may get that, so that way I have it. But you know, talking about clothing wise or that bag or anything like that, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, like Jason, when they announced Jason, the nothing in the front, it just says the Jason universe.
Yeah,
but the bag, it shows a lot. You know, that was fire. Sure. You know how to get it.
Yeah, and I think Mondo was at Universal yesterday, and he even showed in his video that the Jason shirts are already pretty much sold out. They're gone. Like there was only like 3 left, and I'm sure they're like small and mediums and all that. So,
yeah, I'm sure they'll probably restock them a little bit more, and then
sure.
all the rich comes out.
Definitely. Well, this has been an absolute amazing chat. Shout out to our guest, George the Disney Italiano from Citrico Central, Junior from Instagram from Universal Disney Fan. You guys are always welcome on the channel. Again, this was very unexpected, but you know, we were all hoping it was WWE.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a tongue twister to get Art the Clown. But I'm not disappointed.
No.
I'm not disappointed. So it makes me wonder if WWE is coming, what we could see at Midsummer Scream, and I cannot wait to watch your coverage, watch Mondo's coverage of that. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. George, I'm going to start with you, sir. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Absolutely. You can find me on Orange Grove 55 with my segment Citrus Corner with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And you could also find me on my new YouTube channel, Citrico Central, sister channel to Orange Grove 55, but it's basically on location, doing vlogs in the parks at Disney, Universal, Disney cruises, all that good stuff. And I also do other like out of movie theater reactions. I do a lot of those. So it's definitely a mix of different kinds of content. I do apologize for everyone with the content. I've been battling some kidney stones. I actually just went through my surgical procedure yesterday. So hopefully pretty soon we'll be getting back on track with content, especially for next week, Disneyland's official 70th birthday. And also got confirmation too with the Walt Disney virtual queue. So that's going to be very interesting to say the least, but definitely keep an eye out. We'll be covering it on Citrico Central and talking about it in podcast form on Orange Grove 55. So definitely like and subscribe both our channels.
Absolutely. Junior, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm officially back. I'm catching up things now. So you guys could find me on Instagram, Universal Disney Fan. You can find me on X, R Pena JR89. You can find me on TikTok, R Pena JR89. And just follow my content. And I hope you guys enjoy them.
Absolutely. And shout out to both our guests, Junior and George from Citrico Central. I do have to say with Junior, the interactions you do with John Murdy on X are absolutely hilarious. At times, I love it. And then a lot of the posts that you post on Instagram about Universal and just everything going on, amazing work, amazing job. Keep up the amazing work. George from Citrico Central, again, I hung out with them opening day of the Disneyland 70th event, and that was a event that's going to go down in history in my mind and his mind, so many other minds. We had so much fun that entire weekend. We hung out with so many content creators that are big vloggers that usually stay in the Florida area that came down to our little Disney park to share the magic with us. And even Hey Bricky took over Citrico Central for George's first live stream, which was absolutely hilarious. So definitely please go check that out. George also has some content. Recently he was in Florida for Epic Universe for Walt Disney World. Definitely please go check that out. You are going to see George back on Conductor Sunday live stream this Sunday to talk about not only final thoughts about the Walt animatronic, what we can see, but now with the breaking news about the virtual queue system. So we're going to break that all down, talk about it. So I will see you guys this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm your host, Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Bluesky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor. And like I said, you can find me every Sunday on Conductor Sunday live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Programming note, I will be with George and Orange Grove 55 and George's wife, Abby, on next Thursday for the Walt Animatronic show on July the 16th. So definitely stay tuned for that coverage as well. Everyone have a great day. Stay cool or stay warm wherever you might be. And I will see you guys soon. Peace out.